I really don't know what I'm going to say in this video. Before, I posted a lot about I was on an acting journey, which didn't really work out. I found a lot of turbulence and a lot of people that rub me the wrong way, and they take advantage of a lot of people. And I don't want to be any part of that because if you speak up against it, then you're blacklisted. And I actually just retreated back into my writing because that's what makes me feel most comfortable, and that's what I'd like to make a living with my writing. And I feel I'm quite good at it. I don't know how other people feel, so but that's what matters to me. This video I think really is going to be about. I've been dealing with a lot of life changes. I was married for 14 years. I've been separated, recently divorced for 2 years, and I'm still single. I'm on dating apps. No luck there whatsoever. Been on dating apps for over a year. Nothing pops up for me. Uh, in the real world, I am on the spectrum. I have a spectrum autism disorder, OCD, anxiety, ADHD. So it's very difficult for me to function like your average human in public. Uh, it's really hard for me to approach people unless they approach me first. I just have a lot of things, rushing around in my mind, so it makes it hard to quiet and the noise. I But back to the point I want to make for this video. I saw these social media challenges on YouTube, and I wanted to step away and see if I could do it. I've been just so attached to social media, ever since, days of Zanga and MySpace, Friendster, which I actually enjoyed. But then I realized it wasn't bringing me any joy anymore because I would get on these websites or social media apps, and I would post things and no one replied to them, no one interacted with them. And that's what you're seeking, is validation and wanting to, you know, just get something from people, feel better about yourself. And I wasn't getting that. I was posting all my interests, all the things I enjoyed, a new book I wrote, a new poem I wrote, a new audition I was doing. And sure, it's hit and miss. Sometimes you get reactions, sometimes you don't. But more times than not, I just felt really down about it. It's like people don't care about me. Like I try to reach out to people that I've known my whole life, and they say, "Oh yeah, we'll get together. We'll hang out soon." You never hear from them again. Your own family, you send them messages and they don't reply, or they leave you on read. Uh, it's just really unfortunate. I feel like ever since the pandemic, people just became really antisocial, more so than before. And I was always kind of an antisocial person when I was married because I had my soulmate, my life partner. So I didn't really worry about the outside world. And I come back to the outside world for the first time after being divorced, and it's scary. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. They say work on yourself, which I'm trying to do. I take myself out on dates, I guess. I go to movies, I go out to eat, I go get coffee, I go to bookstores and read. No one's really ever approached me. I've tried to approach people with it doesn't really work. Uh, I try to be less awkward. It, you know, it's just, but yeah, social media. I've realized that I don't miss it. Sometimes, I'll do like a periodic check and I'll go on there and be like, okay, I'm not missing anything. I don't miss it. No one's reached out to me, like I just wanted to do like a test for myself, the 30-day thing. And no one reached out to me. I would check my messenger periodically. No one was like, no one cared. Like my face was on the milk carton, missing social media. No one cared. I think I had maybe one person that posted something on my Facebook and like, oh, I haven't, seen you post anything. You're okay. So I replied to them and they didn't reply to me. So, but what I would say to everyone that's, curious about trying it, I would do it because it helps my mental health a lot, because I don't see all these people with false projections and you trying to live up to what someone else might have and you don't have, and you want that. And I was just tired of seeing all these success stories, and I mean they're uplifting but they're also defeating at the same time. Because I'm a writer, and then I've seen, the people when I started writing, there was this other group of people I started writing with, and we're all in this together, of course, and they're like, oh, if I make it, I'll put in a good word for you, and we're in this together. And there's this one person that made it, and she doesn't talk to me anymore. She's successful. So I mean, that's just what happens. I'm the kind of person that I always keep a circle. So if I was successful to a degree, I would always help people that were there for me. I'm still writing. I still love it. Sometimes it's hard to focus, but I love writing, and it's my passion, and it's what I love to do. But yeah, I would greatly recommend that you try to stay off social media, at least for a little bit, and see how you do off of it. I, like I said, I don't miss it. And I'm sorry this is rambling, but, and then, for example, it can be devastating when you do see something like my ex-wife. She's like, oh, I'm never gonna date somebody for a long time. And then recently she became really distant with me, and we were still friends after the separation, and we would talk, and we would just be civil. And all of a sudden she started being mean to me, and she started being more rude and distant, and I didn't know why. And lo and behold, she started dating somebody. She posted all about it on Facebook, and I had to find out from somebody else. They told me, and I looked, of course, and I shouldn't have, and it just really upset me. It's like you spend 14 years with somebody, and then you're still friends afterwards because they were everything to you, and it just hurts, even if you don't want it to. There's anger, there's pain, everything, and I just felt devastated by it. And that's what social media does. If you just tune out all of that stuff, because a lot of people on there, they don't know what they're doing. They're just posting what they think they should be posting. Their life's in shambles, and they put on this fake life, and you think you have to live up to that, and it's just not something that I think you should have to do. Because I remember when social media was fun, you just go on there and rearrange your top 8, or meet new people that were interested in the same things you were. You met, now you go online, you talk to new people, and they think you're weird, or they think it's odd you're talking to them, and you have some kind of motive. And I just like talking to people because, I'll be honest, I'm lonely. I really don't have anybody. My father passed away years ago, and he was my closest person. I don't have him to talk to anymore. He was the person that would solve any problem. Even if he didn't have an answer, he would find a way to have an answer, make you feel better about it. And I don't have that anymore. My wife was that person, and she just, stepped away from that. And I don't know. I have days where I feel okay, and then I have days where I feel really depressed. I mean, I go to therapy. I'm on a certain medication that I take. I don't know. I do all the coping skills, and it works to a certain extent. But then you're just reminded, of something. You watch a movie or you hear a song, and I don't know. I just miss the old days, and I know nostalgia is actually painful, but it's healing at the same time. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm 37 years old. I'm actually going to go to school finally, because I got to throw myself into something, or I don't know. But I've always, wanted to do something with history, because I love history, maybe writing, teaching, photography. I don't know. I just want to get lost in it and just kind of try to forget things for a while. Because the modern world, I'm not a fan. People always say, the world hasn't changed, you have. And I don't know, because I still feel the same way I do, when I was in high school, or, my 20s, early 30s. I still mentally feel that way. I have the same outlook on life for the most part, besides the stuff that's shown to me. And that's the one thing too, is when you turn off the noise of social media, you don't see all the bad stuff, and that's really helpful too. You can still kind of put yourself in the mind frame that you want to be in. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this video. I don't want to make it too long. I plan on making more of these. This is just the first one. I don't even know what I'm going to call it, because it's just a bunch of ramblings. And book recommendations. Turtles All the Way Down. Highly recommended. The movie's great too. If you're someone that deals with anxiety and OCD, depression, I highly recommend that. It really connected with me, and I really connected with the character. But yeah, I also want to do book recommendations as well. I kind of just want to do everything. It just helps me to talk to this, because I don't use social media, so I need an outlet. And I don't want to do a lot of editing. I don't want to do a lot of cutting. I just want to do raw, old, time videos like you used to see. I'm not great at editing, and I don't have someone to do it for me. So, uncut, you'll see all the goofs and the whatever. But I'm going to wrap this up. hopefully someone watches it. Hopefully it helps somebody. And, you know, just be you. Just get out there. Just do what you can when you feel comfortable. Don't feel pressured into doing something. Just do it when you're ready. You know, use that word just. And, you know, when you're ready, you'll find something. And just keep on. I'm going to end this before I say something that doesn't really add up to anything. But goodbye.